What you're looking at right now cost me less than $20. This bucket right here, filled and sealed, can feed a family of 4 for multiple weeks. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build it, step by step, today. Most people think emergency food storage is expensive. It's not. You just have to know what you're doing. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sustainable Survival Hub. I'm glad you're here because today's project is one of the most practical things I've ever put together for this channel. We're building a proper emergency food storage system from scratch. The kind that actually works, the kind that won't poison your family, and the kind that won't drain your bank account. Total cost for a starter kit? Under $20. Here's why this matters right now. Grocery prices are up over 20% since 2022, and with ongoing instability in the Strait of Hormuz affecting global shipping lanes, we're looking at potential supply chain disruptions that could hit store shelves within weeks. I'm not saying panic, I'm saying be smart. Having even 30 days of food stored at home is one of the best investments you can make right now. I'll put everything, the full materials list, product links, and detailed notes, down in the description below. Let's get into it. All right, here's what you need. None of this is exotic. You can find most of it at Walmart, Home Depot, or online. First, a 5-gallon food-grade bucket. These run about $8 to $10 each. The key word is food grade. I'll explain why that matters in a minute. You also want a gamma seal lid, which is the screw-top version that makes it easy to get in and out without destroying the seal. Second, Mylar bags. Get the 1-gallon size, not the 5-gallon size. The smaller bags give you more flexibility. A pack of 10 runs about $8. Third, oxygen absorbers, specifically the 300cc size. A pack of 10 is about $6. These are the secret weapon of long-term food storage. Fourth, a handful of bay leaves, about $2 at any grocery store. Natural pest deterrent, works surprisingly well. And fifth, a permanent marker for labeling. You probably already have one. Total investment, right around $20 for a complete starter kit. That's it. Now for tools, you'll need a clothing iron or a hair straightener to seal the Mylar bags, and that's basically it. Before we start building, I want to spend 60 seconds on why I think this is worth your time right now. We're in an unusual moment. Food prices at the grocery store are still elevated from recent inflation, and global shipping is facing new pressure points. The Strait of Hormuz, which handles about a fifth of the world's oil supply and a significant chunk of dry goods shipping, has seen increased tension in recent months. When shipping gets disrupted, it doesn't just affect gas prices. It affects the cost of everything that gets moved by truck or ship, which is basically all of your food. I'm not telling you to go build a bunker. I'm telling you that a $20 investment in a solid food storage system is just smart household management. Think of it like an insurance policy, one that you can actually eat. Step 1, choose the right bucket. This is the step most beginners get wrong, and it can actually make you sick, so pay attention. Not all buckets are created equal. You need food-grade plastic, specifically HDPE number 2. Look for the recycling symbol on the bottom of the bucket with a number 2 inside it and the letters HDPE. If it doesn't say that, don't use it. Non-food grade buckets are often made with chemicals or dyes that can leach into your food over time. The bucket you get at a hardware store for mixing concrete, not food grade. The bucket from your local bakery or deli that once held frosting or pickles, usually food grade, and sometimes free if you ask nicely. White buckets are typically food grade more often than orange or black ones, but always check the number. When in doubt, buy a bucket that's explicitly labeled as food safe. Step 2, line the bucket with a Mylar bag. Once you have your bucket, open a Mylar bag and drop it inside. The bag should sit inside the bucket with the top folded open above the rim. Mylar is a type of polyester film that creates a near-perfect barrier against oxygen, moisture, and light. The 3 things that destroy stored food. The bucket alone isn't enough. The bucket gives you physical protection and keeps out pests and rodents. The Mylar bag is what actually preserves the food for years or decades. This 2-layer system is what professional preppers use. It's not complicated, but it works. Step 3, fill with dry goods. Now fill the Mylar bag with your dry food. Good options: white rice, dried beans, rolled oats, all-purpose flour, pasta, lentils, or sugar. The key rule here, and this is non-negotiable: dry goods only. No moisture. None. Even slightly damp food will grow mold and bacteria inside a sealed container, and it can contaminate your entire supply. If your rice or beans feel at all damp, spread them on a baking sheet and let them dry completely before storing. Fill the bag to about 4 to 5 inches from the top. You'll need that space for sealing. Step 4. Add oxygen absorbers. Drop your oxygen absorbers into the bag on top of the food. Oxygen absorbers do exactly what they sound like. They absorb oxygen from inside the sealed container. This does two things. It kills insects and their eggs that might be hiding in the grain, and it prevents oxidation, which is what causes food to go rancid and stale. For a 1-gallon bag, use one 300cc oxygen absorber. For a full 5-gallon bucket without individual bags, use 4 or 5. The math is roughly 300cc per gallon of food volume. One important thing: oxygen absorbers start working the moment they hit open air. Work quickly. Get the bag sealed within about 15 minutes of opening the absorber package. Step 5. Seal the Mylar bag. Squeeze out as much air as you can from the top of the bag. Press it down and work the air toward the opening. Then fold the top of the bag over once and run a hot iron or hair straightener across it to create an airtight heat seal. The iron should be set to medium-high, around 300 to 350 degrees, no steam. Run it slowly across the top of the bag, pressing firmly. You want a seal that's about an inch wide. If you're using a hair straightener, press and hold for 3 to 4 seconds per section, then move down the line. Leave a small opening and take one more look inside. Add your bay leaves on top of the food at this point, then finish the seal completely. After sealing, give the bag a gentle press. It should feel firm, not floppy. Within the next 12 to 24 hours, the oxygen absorber will do its work, and the bag will pull tight against the food like a vacuum seal. That's how you know it worked. Step 6. Label with contents and date. Grab your permanent marker and write directly on the Mylar bag what's inside, the date you packed it, and the best buy estimate. White rice is good for 25 to 30 years. Dried beans, 20 to 25 years. Oats, up to 30 years when sealed correctly. This sounds like overkill, but trust me, when you have 10 of these buckets in a dark closet 2 years from now, you'll be glad you labeled them. Step 7. Store in a cool, dark location. Put the lid on the bucket, seal it down, and find a good home for it. The ideal storage environment is cool, dark, and dry. Temperature is the big one, every 10 degrees above 70. Fahrenheit roughly cuts your shelf life in half. So a basement or interior closet is great. A hot garage or attic, terrible. Keep buckets off concrete floors in basements. Concrete can transfer moisture. A piece of wood or a simple pallet does the trick. A few things I wish someone had told me when I started doing this. Never store wet or moist food in Mylar, not even a little damp. Moisture is the enemy of everything in here. It will turn your 20-year food supply into a biology experiment within months. White rice stores for 25 to 30 years when properly sealed. Brown rice, in which people assume is healthier, only stores for 1 to 2 years because of its higher oil content. For long-term storage, white rice is the correct choice. Bay leaves repel weevils and other grain beetles naturally. A few leaves scattered on top of your food before sealing is cheap insurance against insects that somehow survive the oxygen absorber process. And test your seal. 24 hours after sealing, press on the Mylar bag. It should feel firm and vacuum tight. If it still feels loose and floppy, you have a leak somewhere. Check the seal line, cut it open, and reseal. The 3 biggest mistakes I see beginners make. 1. Using non-food grade buckets. Check the number. HDPE number 2 only. 2. Not using enough oxygen absorbers. When in doubt, add 1 extra. An extra absorber never hurt anything. Too few and your food will go bad. 3. Storing in a warm or bright location. I've seen people store buckets in their attic. In summer, that attic can hit 130 degrees. You've just turned your 20-year supply into a 2-year supply at best. Let me show you something interesting. I have 2 containers of white rice here. One was stored in an open container at room temperature for 2 years. The other was sealed in Mylar with oxygen absorbers for the same period. The unsealed rice has visible oxidation, some off-color grains, and if I cooked it, you'd notice a stale flavor. The sealed rice looks and smells as fresh as the day I put it in. That's the difference we're talking about. Long-term storage studies on white rice sealed in Mylar with oxygen absorbers have shown it to be fully nutritious and palatable after 25 years. This isn't theory, it's tested science from FEMA and university extension programs. Now, the setup I've shown you today is the budget version, and it's genuinely excellent. But here are a few ways to level it up. Budget version, exactly what we just did. 1 bucket, Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, $20, ready to go. Upgraded version, invest in dedicated long-term food storage containers, the kind with gamma seal lids built in, specifically rated for food storage. They're more expensive, around $30 to $50 per container, but they're purpose-built and slightly more convenient for rotation. For larger quantities, consider buying bulk dry goods. 25-pound bags of white rice and dried beans from a restaurant supply store or Costco. You can fill 10 to 15 buckets from one bulk buy and dramatically lower your cost per calorie. And if you want a fully pre-built solution without the DIY process, there are quality emergency food storage kits available that give you 30 to 90 days of food in one purchase. I've got links in the description for the ones I actually trust. I want to know, what's the first thing you're going to store? Rice? Beans? Oats? Something else entirely? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm always curious what people prioritize when they're just getting started. If you've already got some storage built up, tell me how many days worth you have. You might inspire someone else who's just starting out. That's your system. $20 one afternoon, and you've got the foundation of a real emergency food supply that will outlast most crises and keep your family fed when store shelves don't cooperate. Total time to build one complete unit, about 20 to 30 minutes once you have your supplies. Total cost, under $20. And the peace of mind, I can't put a price on that. Hit that like button if this helped you, and subscribe if you want more practical prepping projects every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Next time, we're covering water storage, the thing most people forget completely until it's too late. Stay prepared, stay smart. I'll see you next time.